Hi everyone! Welcome back to MomNMeBeauty. Thank you so much for joining us today. It has been quite some time since we videotaped. We last videotaped before we went on vacation. But what's more important is that it's been a while since you've seen a video from us. So if you are just joining us for the first time today, welcome to you. Please consider subscribing by hitting that button down below and then the little bell that is right next to it to be notified every time we upload a new video. We do upload 2 beauty videos a week. On Mondays is usually Mom and Me Day, and on Thursdays is either Teen Take with Emma or Mom Moment with me. Now, all that aside, today we're going to be talking about the new Makeup Revolution by Emily, the Wants palette, the Emily Edit the Wants palette. This is new to the market. It came out just before we went on vacation, and I've been playing around with mine ever since I got my hands on it. Emma just started using it today. So you're going to get her first impressions, you're going to get my a little bit more detailed review on it, and we're going to do 2 makeup looks, each one of us our own take on the palette. Before we get started with the tutorials, just want to tell you a couple of things. We're really sorry that it took us so long to get back into the groove. When you get back from vacation, you think, oh, you're nice and relaxed, you're ready to start going again. No. There is such a thing as recovering from vacation, we found out. Both of us were pretty tired, and it was just a little difficult to get back into that groove of videotaping and uploading. And then unfortunately, I did come down with a flu last weekend. So fingers crossed, knock on wood, that is the only time that I will be that sick this season. Let's just all pray. Before we get into the tutorials, I just want to mention that for the sake of time, because we're giving you a review plus 2 tutorials, I applied all of my makeup except for what went on my eyes before we started videotaping, and Emma did a couple steps too off camera just for the sake of time. Now, without further ado, let's get into the tutorials. So to start off my look, I'm going to be using the Ulta Beauty Tinted Eye Primer in Champagne. Now, I know that you guys are probably like, wait a minute, where is your Wet n Wild photo focus, Sarah? Well, unfortunately, I completely ran out of it, and I have yet to buy a backup. So that's on my to-do list ASAP. This eye primer, though, is like my second favorite. They have Champagne, which is what I'm using now. They also have like a frosty pink, pretty sheer, so it's not like it's liquid eyeshadow or cream eyeshadow. And then they also have beige, and I think maybe white or translucent. I don't know. Check Ulta Beauty out. This is a really good eyeshadow primer. So normally I set my primer with a shadow. Unfortunately, there's not really a shadow in this palette that I feel that I could use to do that. So I'm just gonna let the primer naturally dry down. So now that my shadow is set, I'm gonna go into the Emily Wants palette into the shade Prayer. That is gonna go into my crease. In my opinion, I think all of these shades blend so well, and they are incredibly pigmented without being super duper powdery. And I'm also going to blend it towards my brow bone, but not all the way up to my brow. Next, I'm going to go into the color Heartbeat, and I'm going to apply that to my outer corner just a little bit and blend it in this way, and then when I put my eyelid color over top of it, it'll blend a little bit better. Okay, next for the lid color, I'm going to start out with Eve Rose. That's going to go on the inner corner and about midway on my lid, and I'm going to apply this wet. Okay, then taking a clean flat brush, I'm going to go into the color right next to Eve Rose, which is Belle Violet. It's a little bit more vibrant purple, but it's still not like shocking purple. And again, I'm going to apply this wet. This is going to go from the edge of where I applied Eve Rose out to the outer corner, so it's going to end up going over that Heartbeat color. And as I'm tapping it on, I just want to kind of blend it with Eve Rose, so it doesn't look like 2 different colors. It kind of looks like a gradient. Now, because these shades are not pure pigment like you would find in one of the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, for example, You do have to work a little bit to get some powder onto the brush. Honestly though, I prefer that because then I can control how much powder I use. If it's too powdery, if it's like pure pigment, you have to be so careful about how lightly or how hard you touch the pan. So I like that feature of this palette. Okay, so to blend the two shades together, I took that brush that I used to apply Eve Rose, which was the color right here in the inner corner. I'm just using that now just to tap over the Belle Violet. And that marries the two of them together so it looks like a nice gradient. Okay, so then over these, I think instead of going back into Heartbeat like I did before, I think I'm going to try Pi Phi in the outer corner. This pigment though is an exception to what I just said. It is crazy pigmented and you barely need to touch your brush to the pan. Seriously. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a clean fluffy brush and just blend everything together so there's no harsh lines. For brow bone, I'm going to use the cream. When Emily talked about this palette, she mentioned that she just wanted a nice matte cream or close to white color as a brow bone highlight. I love that she did this. I love that it's not shimmery. I love that it's not sparkly. It highlights your brow bone without drawing too much attention to it. For my lower lash line or my lower waterline, I've been really loving the color Corduroy, which is at the bottom. It's like a deep teal green color. I know this is way outside of my comfort zone, but trust me, I'm loving the way it looks on my eyes. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna apply it right down on the lower lash line. And then for my inner corner highlight, I'm going to be using the color Oh Heavens and applying this wet as well. So that's everything from the palette. Next I'm going to be applying eyeliner. I'm going to be using my favorite Voluminous Lash Paradise Liquid Eyeliner in Black by L'Oreal. This is a little tricky for me to put on camera, so just bear with me. Yeah, let me do this off camera, I'll be right back. And to finish up, I am just going to curl my eyelashes and put on my trifecta of mascara. If you've seen some of my videos before, you know that this is my routine for my mascara. I start out with the CoverGirl Peacock Flare to give me length for my upper lashes. Then I go in with a L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise to give me volume, and then I finish up with the Maybelline the Falsies Push Up Angel on my lower lashes. Let me do that off camera and then I'll zoom you out to show you my completed look. So that is my completed look. I actually really enjoy this look. It's pretty easy to do. It does use several colors in the palette, but I've had no problems with any of the colors in this palette. So on to Emma.
The first shade I'm going to take is called Midwest, and I'm going to apply that to my crease, and I did apply my primer before the video. So just to make this a little bit more defined and to give my crease more definition, I'm going to take the shade Deuce Paid, and it's a little bit darker than Midwest. So to lighten up this look, I am going to take a blending brush and just blend it out and lighten it up. So the next shade I'm going to take is the color Side Hustle, and I'm going to apply that in my outer corner, working it towards the inner corner. The next shade I'm going to take is called Top Story, and I'm going to apply that on my inner corner, going out to where I apply the shade Side Hustle. And I'm going to apply that wet. Next shade I'm going to take is called Corduroy, and I'm going to just put that on my outer corner, and then I'm going to take a smaller brush and put that on my lower lash line. Now I'm going to take the shade Oh Heavens, and I'm going to use that as my inner corner highlight. So next I'm going to do my mascara using the CoverGirl Peacock Flare Mascara and the L'Oreal base. So that completes the look, and now off to our final review. So my first impression is that this is a nice palette. Now, some of these shades are really hard to get the pigment out of. I personally like pressed pigment palettes because they are very nice. They're powdery. I like powdery shadows. This, I find it's not as powdery, and the shades that are powdery are the more glittery and metallic shadows. So that's my one critique. My second thing is that it needs a type of brow bone highlight that I would like. There is one for my mom because she likes a matte white, but for me I like more of a satin finish tan brow bone highlight. So that's just me, but otherwise the shade range is great. The only other thing I have to say is that the packaging, though it feels sturdy, it's not. I've dropped my palette twice, and it wasn't that far down. Like, it did not go far, and I've already got a huge chip out of the palette.
So you can clearly see there is a super duper sized mirror in here. Emily really wanted that, you know, mirror that you could see everything that you need to do in that mirror. So she included that. All of the pans are full size or deluxe size. I would even say they're fairly large size pans. You did see in my tutorial that they blended really, really well. They're very pigmented, but at the same time, it's not like, you know, you look at it and powder goes everywhere. For me, I found that the shimmer shadows, you had to work just a little bit harder to get out of the pan. It wasn't like the matte ones where you just have to put your brush in and you get some pigment. You actually had to work in it just a little bit. I actually like that because then I'm not wasting product. I can control just how much powder that I do get on my brush, so I do like that fact. I also like that it goes from like pinks to purples to like blue and green teal colors, but they're wearable all year round. It's not like something really, really bright that you can really only get away with for special occasions or like summertime. They're kind of muted colors, so really I absolutely love this. It's also not like totally loaded down with one shade or another. I find that a lot of palettes are either mostly neutrals like browns, tans, beiges, and then they throw in a couple of pops of color, or maybe they're strictly monochromatic where they just go with pinks or purples or whatever. This palette is not that. It's got a healthy dose of various shades, but like I said, they're very muted. So I love that fact about the palette as well. For both of us, when we found out that Emily came out with these two palettes, we were beyond thrilled for her. So excited. It really could not have happened to a better person. She is awesome. I'm sure you've heard of her, but if you haven't, we will link her channel down below. You really do need to check her out. She is completely genuine, very humble, very down to earth. She's got two girls, and she works from home now. She used to be on a news channel as like a news anchor. Right now she's concentrating on her channel, and it shows. I think she's absolutely brilliant and incredibly sweet. So honestly, it could not have happened to a better person.
So that is it for this video. We both hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to click that subscribe button down below and the little bell next to it. Also, be sure to comment down below if you have this, if you tried it, if you've even watched MomNMeBeauty. She is a great YouTuber. Be sure to connect with us on social media. Firstly on Instagram, which is Emma_N_2004 and MomNMeBeauty. And then on Pinterest, which is the same username as my Instagram account. And make sure you give this video a like if you liked it. Again, we will see you in our next MomNMe video.
Bye everyone.